I would like to talk a little bit about a big misunderstanding in this society, especially in the media industry. Most people still think that they are in the industrial age. They still behave like Gutenberg. And times have changed completely, and most companies don't realize that they still ride on horses when others having cars. And I would like to explain this a little bit just in different steps. So the transition period from the industrial age to the information age started more or less 1990. And there are a few characteristics about this change. And we will talk about all of them. Let's start with technology. It started with WordPerfect, basically. This was around 1992, where WordPerfect came on the market, but basically what it was an electronic typewriter. So everybody used this, also still today, Word is used as an electronic typewriter. But a lot of things changed because technology immediately was available to private people, to companies, all over cultural institutions, and every person could use a computer. And from this on, our complete life changed. So information became a new resource. But also networks appeared. And this is maybe one of the most challenging things, that networks gave us the possibility to communicate electronically from one place to the next. And one big change was coming because of network integration, and that was that organizations could change completely the way they work. They could separate, for example, production from logistics and from the thinking process of creating products. So from this moment, companies were completely free to produce wherever they like without having any time problem, because communication could be done online. Also, suddenly, we had a lot of different technologies on one machine. You have a paint program, you could write, you could make movies. For Veronica, even you have terminals. And what we could see, that in the years 95 to 99, computer industry grows a lot. And internet and Netscape came. And this even was another big step forward to the way we work today. Almost everybody has a second name now, which is his IP address. It was possible to communicate worldwide and to identify people worldwide because of the IP address, for example. There are new tricks today. But if you think technology stays alone, separate from a culture, you are wrong. Technology changed everything. So let's go back to Gutenberg. When Gutenberg appeared on the market with his press machine, it was the first time possible to have paper and give it to someone else. And you have to think about for a moment what this means for society. Before, only clear messages were sent from the government, from the church, from the people on top. One-way direction messages and no possibility to share information. With Gutenberg, it was possible to have paper and give it to the next person. And this was the first step to democratize a society. And now we are in the same situation again. Since internet is coming now stronger and social media becomes stronger, it started with as we say here, with Russia. But even today, you can see that governments die in a few months in Africa. China has a big problem because they are scared of all this open information. And the whole world will change more and more also in the political structures. because democracy is everywhere. And people don't believe in media any longer. They don't believe in governments any longer. They don't believe in religions any longer, because people can talk with each other everywhere in the world. And this will change complete society. So information age is not only changing technology and the way we communicate, it also will change society and culture completely. So everybody remembers the year 2000. Everybody was afraid that the world will die, but it was not the case. It was the opposite. New companies came on the market, and suddenly a big network appeared in the market where all these companies could communicate with each other. People could communicate with these companies, and the big winners are definitely Google, Apple, eBay, Amazon. So suddenly technology and algorithms become very, very important, because information was sent automatically. And not only the way people liked it, also how algorithms were thinking for people. That's where it started, that machines find informations and also do recommendations with informations. You know all this, when we had the first modems and email came up. That was just the beginning. And I believe even in the future, there will be no email any longer. Email is just a stupid tool to send analog information. In the future, you don't need email any longer. You just communicate via the computer. The computer will talk to you, but it doesn't have to be the computer. It will go into your body, and it will be completely connected to your feelings, to your thoughts, to everything you have. So don't be scared. Start already to make yourself transparent, because in a few years you have no chance to go away from this. So Cisco produced in the beginning their own products. When internet came into the market, they separated their production completely from the company. And what they did is their competitor was loosened. And in the first 2 years, when they changed the process at Cisco, they doubled the profit with half of the people, comparing to Lucent. Just because they separated production from the technology they developed and the logistics. Just by doing this, they had this big success. You know him? They produced 15 million iPads in 1 year, also by separating logistics and production completely. And it's almost impossible to do this. The real interesting thing is that production is not longer relevant. So production done by machines has no relevance any longer in this society. And even this is hard, but this is all industrial age. This is Gutenberg, printing presses. You need them, they will work, but we are not dependent on them anymore. Everything is information, everything is knowledge, know-how, and how you do it, but not any longer the machines. And this is terrible for a lot of companies, because they still believe in this machine, in this analog production. And they still think this is important and they can make money with it and grow with it. The first industry which really works with information was the financial industry. As you can imagine, they were the first ones who understand how to make money with information. Something really shocking for me, when 1999 the market was opened. Look at this, from 1999 to 2007, the market, the financial market growth was 73 times in this short period. And it came because the market opened. All the banks had to inform worldwide have to give worldwide informations. So there was a complete transparency on the banking business. And through this, the market grew in this way, which is almost unbelievable to me. Why does this happen? Because most of the transactions are done completely automatically. No human beings anymore. It was interesting. I talked to a lady a few weeks ago. She was in the tower in New York when these airplanes crashed in. And she explained to me at this year, when was it? 10 years ago? At this year, they developed the programs for the financial industry with algorithms to automate payments, to automate when you buy shares, when you sell them. This was 10 years ago when they automated completely this process. So the banking system in the back, 24 hours, 7/24, works more or less automatically based on algorithms. And all this, locations are not important anymore, time is not important anymore. Everything is in real time in this second. Something else, let's change the channel to news. You remember in March when Fukushima happened? All information were shared really quick. All these movies were done from people on the street, not from DPR or Reuters or anybody else. Also, the information given to the public changed the world for Japan within 2 hours dramatically. So the value of Japan changed in 2 hours of 640,000 US dollars, 6 billion, 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 $200. Let's talk about billion. It's really unbelievable how information and the flow of information can change the world within a very, very short time. The interesting thing is we live in two directions. There are two directions this society is going. One direction is stay the same, stay old, keep everything as it is, build more nuclear power plants, and so on. And the other side is talking about how, for example, people can communicate and collaborate together. As you can see, in Germany, we have the Sarrazin discussions. In America, in Silicon Valley, 30% of the employees are non-Americans. In Germany, people think about that some people should stay on the street or outside of this beautiful country, which is pretty stupid. On one side, we talk about new energy and new possibilities of getting energy, and on the other side, we talk about this old technology, which is, by the way, industrial age technology. But anyway, you have these two ways how people think, and these two ways become stronger and stronger. So the opposite becomes bigger and bigger. And at the same time, all the political parties have a big problem because they can't lie so good anymore. What they could before is not possible any longer, because if they write something in their program, a million people might say this is complete bullshit. And this is not very good for your marketing if many people tell you something is wrong with you. But that's how the future is. And all these political parties have to learn how to communicate open. So let's talk a little bit about information age now. What is happening that all the networks in the world and all the algorithms become stronger and more every day. So there is more and more automated information processes already now, and it will become much, 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 much more in the future. Just imagine if all the information organizations have about you, like your bank, your doctor, your whatever, the way you work in the internet, where you buy stuff, what you do in the internet, the information of your credit card, if this will be shared, can you imagine what everybody knows about you? So when it comes to information, information is in a flow, and information doesn't need space and time. Everything is just in this second in real time. And I don't know if you read this newspaper. It's the German newspaper, Die Zeit. It's maybe the most famous newspaper today because it's growing a lot when others are dying. But anyway, after 1 week, Fukushima happened, they say no lies anymore. And the newspaper like Die Zeit would never have a title like this after 1 week something happened. Normally this would have taken 4 or 8 or 12 weeks to write something like this. But since social media is on the market, suddenly informations became so fast that after 1 week they could write something like this. The biggest step in this time now are the social networks, are the communities coming up on the market. And many scientists say it's new tribes coming up. What does it mean, a community, a tribe? It's a belief system. It's people who believe in the same way as you do. And you have more trust in this society, in this natural tribe you are connected with, than you have to a government or to Deutsche Post or to religion. All this is dead. You only believe in people where you are connected to. And it doesn't have to be your family. It's more the people who believe in the same direction. And these people you find in social networks. So they communicate with each other on the same level of understanding. And the first level they have is communicate. Just be open about it. And share your information. And this is something, again, which will change the society completely. Social networks and communication via the internet. But as I said before, your voice is only, or what you can write, is only one small part of information. Your behavior, where you are, what you do, is much, much more. And this will come in the next 20 years and will be completely transparent, if you like it or not. Planetary organizations are growing right now. I wasn't thinking like this. I always thought only BMW is growing. But it's not true. There are more and more collaborative organizations growing in this world. And also what I can see when I look at my children, they are much more open to collaborate and not only looking for their own goals. When we grow up in this industrial age, we have to be the best, the most rich, the most whatever. And this concept does not work any longer. And my children doesn't have this concept anymore. They try to collaborate with others. They try to have fun. They try to enjoy life, but not trying to be the best one, making the most money. Just another example. This is an example from a company, a car manufacturer, who was thinking to build a production plan in Libya. And let me explain, in the past, companies, when they made decisions, they were looking very much to the past. What was happening in the last 10 years? How was our financial situation? How was this and this and this? So it's the old, don't kill me now, bookkeeping way of looking at things. How was the past, the last years? But this is no longer necessary when you plan business and your life. Business is now, in this second. So companies more and more understand that they don't have to look into the past. They have to look into this moment. Because what happened, if you look into the internet and if you look about cars, you will find everything about what people think about cars right now. Do they think that 3-liter cars are important right now, or do they think 20-liter cars are important right now? What does people discuss in the internet about cars? If you understand what they do, and if you understand locations, then you will also understand that it might not make sense to build a company in Libya to produce cars. And then you should maybe stop it and do something else. So we believe that in the future, all the information is transparent in the internet. And you can react just from the information you have in this moment. And most people say, this is too much information. It makes me crazy. It's already too much. But I can tell you it will be much, much more. So the problem is not the information in this network, in this worldwide net. The problem is the tools we are working with. In this society, in the industrial society, we were used to use our brain, structures in our brain, logical thinking. And most people still believe logical thinking will bring us the future. Bullshit. Logical thinking is gone. Forget about it. I think if you have tons of information, you have to have new tools to understand them. And this sounds esoteric now, but what you need is intuition. Without intuition, you get completely lost. Because with intuition, you can look in millions of information and grab the right thing. If you try to analyze it in the old-fashioned way, just go to a psychiatry, because you will not make it. Don't get scared of all this information. Just jump into the middle and swim in it. So there is a word for it. It's called background noise. So you have to understand this background noise. And this background noise in technology you can find with IP addresses, with coordinates, with information of location, text encoding. All this will help us to automate information processes in the next years. Metadata are pretty much stupid, I would say. They are needed right now, but in the future there will be a lot of automized metadata on everything. So the background noise of a company will be the only way to make decisions. And I believe even in a very short time, companies can only survive, also political companies can only survive if they understand background noise and react in this second. So this is not for this company, it's only for other companies. What you have to do within a company is you have to fertilize things like collaboration, intuition, trust, and so on. If you don't have this in the company, your company will not be successful in the future. It's the only thing you have, because knowledge is one person. Wisdom is one person, and he can go anywhere. And if you look in your company and you understand where are the talents and where is the knowledge, then you really have the power in your company. So I think in the future, more and more structures, even in the company, will change automatically, which means that just from the behavior of people, or maybe in different projects, people change. And you see, but only on the top level, no changes in the basic structure. Management will be management, and workers will be workers. So some rules must be, no, it can change completely. Robert? So I think we have to be very open in the next years to understand how information is changing everything. And if you look into information, then you see a complete new reality which was hidden today because of structures. Okay, most of the companies still work in this time. I don't know if people know this still. This was the way I started as a typesetter. We had single, bum, bum, bum. And I did this for the first 5 years. And most companies, most media companies still do the same. Even they say, oh, we are working now with a computer and we use desktop publishing and now we use databases. But just look at the apps showing on the market today from publishers. They are basically print products as they are done since Gutenberg. And now they even show it on an iPad. Wow, great. I mean, how stupid can you be? And then they wonder that they don't sell them. I mean, I don't wonder. But anyway, this is still what we find in the market. And this is also our big chance for the future, because the way we work and what we try to build with Censhare is a communication platform for companies, as it is for Google, like Google for everyone. So sometimes I say Censhare is like SAP, but then I think this is not a good example. So I better say Censhare is like Google for companies. And I think this describes it much better. All information could be shared in companies and could be open and could help companies to grow, could help companies to collaborate even with other companies, even with their competitors. And this is something the society has to learn. We are not working for ourselves when it comes to money and power. We are working for ourselves only to grow our personality and to learn more. But it's not about money any longer. It's not about power any longer. It's about how to save this planet and how to find new ways to live together on this planet. And that is all about what the future is. And information is the key to this. Communication is the key to this. So last thing, coming back to our product, our understanding of the product is that you can communicate all information to all channels with all different kind of tools and just connect people, your employees, your partners, your customers, just with the right information in real time. So is it 12 o'clock now, ready for pizza? So thank you very much and enjoy the rest of the day.